we have new faces on here today, which I'm thrilled about. Claire, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody?
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Claire. I got my license in November and I've just started this week, so 4 days in now. Probably tell I'm not from around here. I'm from England. My background is sales in cosmetics for the last 16 years. Hi everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And Guggen, you're new. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure, absolutely. My name is Gagan Shahal. Background, so I have been doing engineering. My background's in engineering. Worked in project management consulting for the past 10 years. Just passed my real estate exam in December. Joined the brokerage probably last week in December, and then just now hitting the ground running. So brand new to real estate.
Welcome aboard, you guys. Everybody else, you're all old faces. You'll get a chance to meet everybody soon. I don't want to take up everybody's time, but seeing how we had new folks, wanted to introduce them. Okay, before we get rolling today, I wanted to talk about. I want to ask you guys, get your input on something. I want to make the training and the foundations training that we are doing as relevant as humanly possible to you, to where you're at in your career, to the things that you are going through, to the things that you are experiencing. So quite often you will see topics that will just come up that I will insert in. I have tried my very best to have a standard curriculum and know exactly what I'm teaching on particular days. 9 times out of 10, it never works that way because I know something that you're going through that you could use a little help with. Okay, so I want to make it as relevant as possible. So before I even tell you what we're going to be talking about today, I want you to tell me if there's any particular topic, anything that you're struggling with, any area that you need help with, that I can make a higher priority than just randomly throwing it into the rotation. So having said that, anybody got anything? Some of, like Claire and Guggen, you guys are like, I need everything. And that's
Everything.
Cool.
Yeah. The first to the start to the finish.
Some of you may be doing, something more specific with a listing or a buyer or somewhere in your process, you're doing an amendment to address concerns right now and you need help. So tell me if there's any topic that you can do it now or you can save it for later, whatever. But if there's something that you need help with that you want a class on, I need to know about it. Okay, so that door is always open. Anybody have anything that you want to raise your hand and say, I'm struggling with X, Y, and Z? Go ahead, Jessica. You're muted right now.
Not specific to this moment, but in a general sense, I would love a class on kind of pricing property.
Pricing a property?
Yeah.
Okay. Pricing for a listing?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Anything else?
You want to do a pricing for when you're buying a property too, correct? To make sure that it's...
Sure.
Okay.
Pretty much the same process. Fortunately, slightly different focus, but makes sense. Okay. Anybody else? Or do you want to save it for later?
Go ahead. So I just attended the 9 to 9:30 session that was convert leads to close, and I really found that helpful. So if we could maybe do something like that in this, that would be really helpful. Just a little deeper dive, perhaps. But that was really helpful.
Okay. Got it. Love it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Anybody else?
Yes.
Alibis, last minutes? Go ahead, Iris.
I have a question. So with submitting an offer for offer pad, it gives me an email and then it says do not submit offers through Remind. So would I still fill out the offer on Remind, but then just download it as a PDF and then send it to the email they gave. Okay. Okay.
So the reason that what they don't want you to do is put their OfferPad email address and send it directly from within Remind like you can do. They want you to put it into a PDF and then upload it to their OfferPad website.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So let's get rolling. So today I'm going to cover a topic. I've actually done something similar to this before. It's been a while, and I've updated it and I've added things to it. So hopefully it is relevant for where you are at, and it gives you some things to be thinking about moving forward. So in general, we're going to call this agent best practices. Things that are always good to be doing, little tips and tricks. Hopefully you are at a place where this list of things that I'm going to tell you that you either should be doing or could be doing or recommend that you do is not so all-encompassing and so overwhelming that you get frustrated with the whole thing and decide to do nothing. This is actually a fairly palatable list that we can go through. Let me get my screens all organized first, and I'm going to share with you all. Okay. Share screen, and I'm going to share this one. Okay, y'all looking at PowerPoint slide agent best practices?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, so here is what we're going to talk about. Some of these are just things that I have picked up over the years, things that other people have taught me to be doing or to not be doing. Some of them are the result of, call it some of my personal pet peeves, okay? But they're good pet peeves because it's all about being professional, okay? So let's talk first about your phone. All right. Your phone is is no doubt probably your most important tool. Okay. Your tool, the most important tool in your toolbox needs to be well organized, and you need to manage it well, and it takes work to be able to do so. Okay. So your voice message, you are a sales professional. A sales professional should never have somebody call them and get it's impossible to say they're never going to get your voicemail, leave a voicemail because we're just too busy in most cases. But they should never get a voicemail that says you've reached 770-298-6421. They should always get hi, you've reached Jessica Fisher. I'm not able to take your call right now. But leave me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Okay. And I've written in here at my convenience. This is truly a personal pet peeve, so you're just going to have to bear with me and indulge me on this one. I hate when a voicemail says, if you reach me after X 7 p.m., I'll reach out to you the following business day. Or I will reach back to you at my convenience. Those are just things that you are a sales professional. You can absolutely have that rule. If you reach me after 7 p.m., chances are I'm not going to call you back that night. But you just don't want to say it. You follow me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully I'm not the only one that's like that. Okay. The other thing is you are a sales professional. Voicemail box is full. When you can't leave somebody a voicemail because they are not organized enough to be able to clean out their own daggum voicemail inbox and delete messages that are no longer necessary. If this is you, this tells me that you as an agent are not organized, that you're not professional, and that you don't value the clients that are leaving you voice messages because you don't even bother to empty out your voicemail box to be able to get more voicemails. Follow me? Okay. I'm off my soapbox now. Now, loading prospects of your co-op agents into your contact list. I have just always been a big proponent of anytime that I am dealing with if I'm negotiating a contract with an agent, if I have a new client, one of the first things I always do is I put them into my phone. And I use the opportunity to be able to say, okay, let me go ahead and load you into my phone. Gosh, I did this with one of you guys yesterday. I put your number in my phone, and then I emailed or I texted you my contact information from within my iPhone. Does anybody know how to do that? You go to your own contact on your phone and you can share it with somebody else via text. Yeah,
I have a question.
Yep.
I know that because you've showed me that, and it's been amazing. I see right underneath the home snap, it says to another iPhone user. Does it have to be an iPhone user for you to do it?
Home snap, your contact. Where does it say iPhone user? What are you talking about, on my slide?
Yeah, know how to share your own contact info to another iPhone user.
Oh, unfortunately, it does not work with Android.
I wonder if that was my issue one day. It just would not send, and I couldn't figure it out. Okay.
Could very well be. So here's the workaround for that: is you can actually just do the double button screenshot and just send them the photo of your screenshot. Done that a million times. Okay, so I literally will look at them and go, is that an Apple or is that an Android? And then I'll do whatever the appropriate method to be able to do that is.
Good to know.
If anybody on here does not know how to send your contact to somebody and you need some, unfortunately, I can't switch back and forth to the phone versus this, but I'd be happy to show you anytime of exactly how to go about doing that. Okay. All right. HomeSnap Pro, the app, is actually a fairly decent app, and I use it quite frequently, and I recommend that you download it, put it on your phone. When you do download it, I think one of the first things you do is they ask you, are you an agent or are you, HomeSnap is available to anybody, and they can use it, but it's actually more useful and more helpful, in my opinion, than the FMLS app. It's driven by FMLS, but it's actually pretty helpful. And when you do the Pro, when you do the Pro version of it, it gives you access to look up other agents. Okay. And when you do look up other agents, you can actually see what their deal flow is, and you know how much experience that they have. Okay. This can be a huge leverage and advantage to you. Yes, Julia.
You have to, does the Pro app, does that actually cost money to go
Nope.
Pro?
Nope,
Okay.
it's free.
Okay.
You just have to put your FMLS ID in, I believe, in order to be able to do that. And then you have access to other contacts. So if I have a listing and I have an offer from a buyer, from a buyer's agent, I look up that agent, and I can quickly see all of their contact information, and I can see their deal flow, which is the number of transactions that they have in the last 24 months. And if you get somebody that has 0, guess what? That gives me a strategic advantage. Okay. If I see that they have 32 buyers and 0 listings, I kind of know what their business model looks like, right? If I see, that they've got 70 transactions, then I pay very close attention and make sure that I'm watching my P's and Q's, because this is an experienced agent. Okay. And here's the beauty of it. If you're looking an agent up in HomeSnap, there's one simple button that you can push that says add them to my contacts list. Oh, it's a wonderful thing. Okay. I wish I had a screenshot to be able to show you this, but I don't. All right. And then knowing how to share your contact information to another iPhone users, that's what we talked about. You go to your contact and you hit share and text it to them. Okay. And I recommend that you do that in place of passing out your business card or in addition to, because business cards are passive versus active. Okay. If you just hand somebody your business card, that requires them to reach out to you. It doesn't give you the ability to reach out to them. All right. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions on anything there so far? Okay. Let's talk about your car. All right. Some gentle reminders. Your car should always be clean, have a good clean interior, should be washed regularly. I hate to say this, but people do make value judgments on you and your abilities as an agent and your status, your financial status, based off of what you drive. So put your best foot forward. Do you have to have a perfect car? No, you do not. My first 2 years in this industry, I drove a Toyota Corolla with a dented fender because I was paying for a wedding at the time. Okay, so, and when you go out on an appointment or any showings or anything of that nature, make sure your tank is full. Nothing more embarrassing than to having to stop on the way to a showing or delay a showing or not be on time because you did not have a full tank of gas. Okay. I should qualify this. Having the clean interior on your car, in most cases, in this day and age, especially in this pandemic world that we live in, you're probably not going to have people in your car. I've done it. Do I recommend that you do it? That's your personal choice. In this day and age, it's probably not a great idea. But it's a personal choice. I have done it, for example, in situations where there's like an out-of-town client and they're flying in, and I pick them up at the airport and I show them houses for a day and a half, and then I take them back to the airport. I've done that before. You may have it too. Okay. Within your car, you should have your showing kit fully stocked. Go to Walmart, buy a Rubbermaid little tub, keep it in the trunk or in the back of your SUV. And within that, some of the things that you should have are some bottled waters. I have 2 great big giant golf umbrellas, one for me, one for the client. When you go to a showing appointment and you arrive early, as you should, to a showing appointment, and it's raining outside and you see them drive up in their you're standing in the front door and you see them drive up in their car and it's raining outside, and you grab your second umbrella and you go out, open the door for them and hold that umbrella up. Boy, you have just won some serious cool points. Okay. Toilet paper, need I say more? You may be visiting a vacant house and somebody's got to go. I'll tell you this story. I was actually showing land 3 weeks ago, and I had a lady client that we were showing land, and she had to go, and we were in the sticks, y'all. She ended up going into the woods with the toilet paper that I provided and a Walmart bag that I just happened to have in my car. That was a first for me. I've been doing this a long time, and that was a first for me, and it just happened 2 or 3 weeks ago. Okay. You should have a stash of face masks for this pandemic world that we live in. You should have that. You should also have some hand sanitizer and or wipes. In the midst of the worst of the pandemic, I would stand at the door, hand out a wipey, one of the disinfecting wipes from Lysol or something like that kills 99.9% of the germs. And you use that to open doors or open the refrigerator door or the cabinets in the kitchen, whatever the case may be. Always a good idea to have some snacks. I've had a client that was diabetic before and needed a candy bar. I just happened to have one in my car. Worked out really well. If kids are involved, if I don't have these routinely in my showing kit, but I've used them before. Coloring books, crayons, things like that. If you've got young toddlers and things that are going to be problematic at a showing, be prepared for it. Give them something to do. Okay. Any questions? All right. With regards to showings and showing feedback, use the showing time cart to generate an itinerary for anytime you're doing multiple homes. There is a new interface that is being released soon. I saw that a while back, and I still don't know that they've released the new interface yet. And you can, that is by far the most convenient way to do this. Sending, oh, sorry guys. Sending the itinerary to your client ups your professionalism significantly. Let me show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So an itinerary that you print out looks like this, and you can also email this to your client before the showing using the showing time cart. I have an entire class on showing time and the showing time cart that if you guys need this, I can definitely help you with it. Okay. I see your head nodding north and south. Okay. This happens to be one that I did a couple of weeks out back that the client ended up canceling, but this was the only one that I could pull up to show you guys a screenshot. But when you send them an itinerary with this and say, okay, first we're going to be here, and then we're going to go see 2 and 3. These are where these are all at, and you can actually see, and you can plot it out for, we're going to from 1 to 1:45. We're going to be at Seville and 2:15, and you can actually see the transit time in between these properties when you're actually plotting this out, and you can know that this is a 15-minute drive or a 30-minute drive. That's why I built half an hour to go from 1:45 to 2:15 into this. Okay. Let me go back to where I was. Okay. There are 2 versions of that. One is your version that has the access information to it, and the other one is kind of blank, and it has space on it where you can leave it. You can hand a copy to your client and have them use it to take notes. Okay. People will frequently get overwhelmed, and if they're seeing more than 4 or 5 houses a day, they don't even remember what the first one looks like by the time they walk through the 5th one. Okay, so leaving notes. And a great practice from my perspective, and I've taught several of you this, is after you finish a house, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no thank you, and 10 being move in tomorrow, what do you rate this house? And you write it down on your little itinerary. So I literally would finish the day with, this one is a 10, this one is a 7, this one is a 3, because I've written it down here, and I go, okay, at the end of the day, let's talk about and review what we've talked about. You had 2 7s and an 8. Is the 8 a strong enough 8 to where you want to, try to put in an offer? Okay. Once you have your itinerary built, preload those addresses into your mapping app, whether it's Waze, Google Maps, etc. Literally, you can walk out of one appointment, pull up on your phone where the next one is, and go, okay, it looks like we've got 17 minutes to get to the next one. And that saves you that awkward amount of time once you get back into your car, and it takes you 10 minutes to plug in the address into your map. And meanwhile, your client's parked behind you going, what the heck is he doing? All right. And by all means, you want to stay on schedule when you're doing a scheduled showing. Okay.
Hey, one question. That map,
yes, sir.
Did you say that pre-populates in the showing time app? This map?
This map? Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
Okay, yep. So it numbers them as well, just like 1, 2, 3 as well?
Yes, and you can change the order. You can manipulate it to, do number 3 first and then number 2. Yeah, it has the ultimate in flexibility. It is really a cool program.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. With regards to showing and showing feedback, you always want to leave feedback as a showing agent, as a buyer's agent. This is something that has fallen out of practice because of the strong sellers market that we're in. But when you are a listing agent, you're going to want that feedback. So part of the golden rule is do unto others as you want them to do unto you. If you want that feedback as a listing agent, when you're a buyer's agent and you're showing the property, you better leave feedback, by golly. Okay. Make the feedback meaningful, valuable, include negatives and positives. Okay. Price too high or price just right, price below market. That's a really good question. Okay. And my answer to it 99.9% of the time is it's priced too high, because I've been a listing agent and I might want to ask my buyer or my seller for a price reduction at some point in the future. Therefore, it's always going to be priced too high. Okay, everybody follow me with that? And then consider customizing your feedback questions on your listings. Does everybody get tired of answering the same 4 questions when you're doing feedback? Okay, let me show you what I have implemented, and I find it to be a little bit more meaningful and a little bit more helpful. Okay, these are the questions that you can create your own feedback form. You cannot use the standard template. You can create your own form. You can use this one if you want. If you want to create your own unique one, you're welcome to do so. So I've created this template and I've just labeled it Jay's template, and it's my default template. But you can literally go into the form design and settings library and you can create these questions, and you can do multiple choice. You can, unfortunately, I can't scroll down and I didn't get this all on the screenshot, but you can create one where it's just complete blanks, and you ask them for negative feedback and you ask them for positive feedback. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay. Time blocking. All right. Mike calls this your weekly schedule. I define it a little bit differently. Time blocking, you want to block time for the tasks within your weekly schedule. And then you treat those activities, those tasks, as appointments. In other words, if you're standing in the cellar and you're drinking a cup of coffee and joking and smoking, figuratively speaking, with your friends, and 10 o'clock comes around, and the 10 o'clock is when you're supposed to be doing some prospecting calls, you get off your butt and you go sit down in your cube and you make your prospecting calls at 10 o'clock. You treat it as an appointment. Okay. I'm preaching at myself right now because I have things on my calendar that I try to get to every day, including calls to agents like yourselves, and I'm successful about 80% of the time. Okay, so set your schedule, block your time. This happens to be a sample of somebody, and they have blocked time for things like, studying the word and meditation and exercise, responding to emails, the power talks, and the scheduled things that they do. They've got time blocked for every single activity that they want to be doing, and they treat those as appointments. Easy to say, tough to do. Okay. Another great best practice: have a well-written biography available and continuously updated for your website, your social media, profile pages. Okay. As a brand new agent, this is probably one of the toughest things that you will do, is have to write your own biography. It's like writing your resume. Okay. And your resume could, if you've got a well-written resume, that could be a starting point for your biography. But I just happened to go to my Zillow page and looked at what I had in my Zillow page and just kind of threw this out there. This is the same exact biography that you would read if you looked on Realtor.com, on my Google business page, you would see the exact same biography. So once you've got it written once and you update it routinely and at every new change in your position or you can claim more success each year by saying I sold X number of homes last year. You can modify your biography, but you got to have a place to start from. Write it, bite the bullet. If you want somebody to QC it and proofread it, send it to me. I'll be happy to do it. Okay. All right. FMLS portal notification settings. When you set up somebody on an auto email, you want to be able to track what they're doing, right? You want to be able to see what homes that they are looking at and what they are favoriting. Okay, so set your FMLS portal notifications so that you monitor your clients' activities. This is a screenshot of the FMLS homepage, and this portal notification settings right here is where you go to access this. And let me show you what the screen looks like. This is what the screen looks like. And every time somebody visits the portal, I want to see an email. When they save a favorite on that portal, I want to know it. When they remove a favorite, I want to know it. When they save a possible or remove a possible, I want to know it. I'm not really concerned if they discard a listing or undiscard a listing. When they add a note, if they want to communicate through the notes section of FMLS, I want to know about it. When they save their own search and when they visit the portal for the first time. Okay. I just do these to my email. If you wanted to get really sticky with them, you could also put your mobile number in right here and your cell phone provider, and they'll send you a text with that information also. Any questions on this?
Hey, Jay.
Yes, ma'am.
This goes for all of your clients, not just individual, right?
Yes, once you set this up, this is your settings for the notifications that you get. Once you do this, it will apply to every single client that you have set up on an auto email.
Okay, perfect.
Does that make sense? So I'll be honest with you, a lot of times I get these first thing in the morning when a client, it's nice to know that they're looking at the homes that you're sending them 5 times a day. That's how you can gauge their motivation level. If you set it to them and they never show up and they never open the portal that you're sending them, that's kind of an indicator, right? Okay. And one of the last things we're talking about, which is I'm almost done, which is great. If you have a deal in the works, I'm just going to preach this from the mountaintops. Before you let a deal die, if you're doing an inspection and they find a lot of stuff, take on a partner. Don't send a termination without checking in with somebody on the staff. Okay, your broker staff has over 82 years of experience in closing deals. You as a brand new agent never want to let a deal die before you've taken on a partner. There are a lot of creative solutions to difficult problems. There are ways that you can talk to a client that can allay some of their concerns and fears to make them want to stick with the deal. Okay, and we can help you with that. But unless we know about it, there's no way to help you. Okay. I had one other thing. A great source of content for video and email marketing is setting up Google Alerts. Okay, if you need to make sure that the topics that you're dealing with are relevant to real estate, this is a great way to do it. And so I have Google Alerts set up for things like the keywords are housing inventory, housing mortgage interest rates. I've done Georgia foreclosure, things like that. You get emails delivered to your inbox that can be used for fodder for things like social media posts or videos. I love it when I did the 12 reasons to list your house during the holidays. For like 3 days after that, every agent that does videos in this office did a video spiel on 12 reasons to list your house during the holidays. This is how you get content like that, and you can use it for anything. Okay. Any questions?
Jay, that Google Alerts is through your email?
Say that again?
Through your Gmail?
Yeah. You just go into your Gmail account. And I mean, you can literally, how do I set up Google Alerts? Okay. And you just put the topics in there and they literally email them to your inbox, anything that has to deal with that topic, that phrase that you have in there. So I think I have 5 or 6 set up. I've got one for housing inventory, for mortgage rates, for Georgia mortgage interest, Georgia foreclosures, Georgia. I don't know. You can set it up for just about anything. National Association of Real Estate. You can follow everything that the NAR does. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. I love this phrase, this slide. If a client tells you, I know people that charge less, your response should be, I've got clients that'll pay more. Okay. Let me look at your faces again. How we doing? Gut check. Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I don't have a question, but I just want to say to everyone, or since we do have some newer people on here as well, which me and you, we've talked about a lot of the stuff that's on here, and just some things like the showing kit, very important. I've had clients that toilet paper, and they even said like, oh, I feel so luxurious that my agent had toilet paper ready to go for me because they needed to go. Same thing with having your contact in your phone. And that helped so much more than having a business card, because I've gotten people's information from it. And then they have everything they could ever need for me all ready to go. Itinerary is very important. Handing that out to the clients, it just makes them feel like you are so much more professional. And having all those times, they understand it so much better. And then the scale, having them write on a 1 to 10 scale after each home. It gives me a better idea of where they're at versus them just telling me what they liked and disliked. And also they change it as we go and see more homes. Yeah. And they're like, oh, home number 1 is kind of a 7 now. But it's all been very helpful. So hopefully you guys find that helpful too.
And one of the things you might learn also is that the family dynamics between husband and wives. Talk about insightful.
Yeah.
The husband is a 4 and the wife is like a 16.3.
I can speak on experience of that with me and my husband. That's exactly what happened. I was like, we're not having now, and he was like, mm-mm.
Yep.
I had one married couple where it was everything I thought the husband would like. And he came back with a 4 for a number. And I was like, oh, what is it lacking? Like, I thought you would love this. And he said if he had a milkshake, it may have been an 8. But
if he had what?
A milkshake, because he was hungry and tired. So it's a 4.
So another thing to keep in your kit then is a milkshake, just in case.
Yeah, if I had snacks, it may have gone better.
There you go. There you go. Reinforcing the mantra there. Mm-hmm. All right, everybody. We've gone 9 minutes over, and I apologize for that, but it's good content. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will post these slides on Workplace here momentarily as soon as this gets posted on Workplace. Those will be on there, so you can access this in PDF if you were, trying to write things down. It'll be there for you. All right.
Great. Thank you.
Get on my coaching calendar for next week. It's booking out. I'm pretty much slammed for the rest of this week, but reserve your spot on for next week. Looking forward to working with each one of you. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Thank you.